Opening a file. Open a file. Open a file. Open a file. We are opening a file. Okay. Why I am opening a file? Because that next concept is files we are entering. So file is containing some collection of records are there. From the file I want to read some records. From the file I want to read some records. I want to read some records from the file. Open a file. Because file contains some records. Dear students, tell me, the file may be there, may not be there. If the file is not there, we will get an exception. What is that exception? File not found exception. We will get what? File not found exception, you will get it. File not found exception, you will get it. Now, dear students, I am trying to say, opening a file may be giving an exception. So I need to write in which block? I need to write in which block, ma? Please tell me. Excellent. Try block. Try block. So I wrote opening a file, or I am going to communicate database also. Database also. Excellent. DB communication. DB, I am communicating with the database. Connect to database. Because I am going to tell you in the class, Oracle database communication, Python database communication, that is called what? MySQL communication, Oracle database communication also I am going to explain, dear students. Very shortly, we are going to enter into that part also. So I'm going to make you to be learning database communication level also. So connect to database also. Maybe connecting to Oracle database. I'm going to enter into that connect Oracle database or MySQL database. MySQL database I am going to connect. So if we get the connection from the database successful, if connection is not getting, we will get the exception. That's why we are writing try block and then catch block. See that catch block, except block I am writing, except block. Even in my Java class also morning 7 a.m. same exception handling concept is going on with Java. This is with Python. So don't feel that when I write a catch, don't feel it is called except block. Okay, here we are writing some type of exception. Exception, which exception will come? File not found exception. File not found error. File not found error. I will explain. When I come to files, I will explain. When I come to database, I will get one more type of error. Database file not found error. I will write some statement here. What is that statement, ma? Print file does not exist. File does not exist. File does not exist. Dear students, file does not exist. Yes, ma. Satyam Sharma. I will tell you, ma. I will tell you that. Look at that. That is very simple in our class. That is very simple in our class. Okay. That is not at all difficult. See, that is a left hand left finger in our class. Yes. So coming to the data, next I am writing except next is called what? Database error. Database error. It is called one more type of exception, which we are going to learn it. So there I am going to get it. That I am going to get it. Connection fail. Does not get the connection with the database. So connection fail, I will write it. So connection fail. I am writing connection fail. Okay, na? Right. Connection fail. Dear students, done. Now, once we open the file, it is mandatory for you people to close the file also. Where I am closing it? The person who is writing the closing statement in the line number 100 in the try block only. Close the connection, close the file, or close the connection. Close the connection or close the file. Where the statements are written? Under try block only. Under try block only we are writing. Where we are getting database connection? In try block. In try block, we got this type of statement. 1 to 100 lines is written. Line number 1, I got the file and the corresponding exceptions also written. Now, dear students, tell me, here finally block is also there. I wrote finally block is also there. Yes. Now, start here carefully. In line number 4, I have one statement is there. In line number 4, I have one statement. What is that statement here? 100 by I have some type of value called 0. 100 by 0 is there. 100 by 0 statement is there. Then tell me what will happen. Here I have except block is there. Yes, except block with 0 division. Another except block is also there. Many number of except blocks are there. file not found error, database error, except error, that is called zero division error. Like that, I have many number of except blocks are there. Dear students, try to understand more carefully. Because of this line number 1 opened the file, because of line number 4 exception is occurring, it PVM comes out of your try block, PVM comes out of the try block executing appropriate except block. What is that except block? Assume that lines which I wrote, assume that it is called zero division error. Then finally it moves forward, it goes to the finally block and all those things, it will continue like that. Is it going back from here to close your file back? Is it going back to close your file? All of you? No. That indicates once an exception is occurring before this 100 line, we are unable to close the file. We are unable to close the file. Am I right or not? We are unable to close the file. Yes or no? Once an exception is occurring in 1 to 99 line, it is just coming out of it and executing this finally block only. And that's why industry is recommended, don't write this 100 statement. Don't write this 100 statement inside of which block. Don't write this 100 statement inside of which block. Which block we should not write it. Not recommended to write inside of which block. Try block. Write that 100 line inside of where? Finally block. Right. Writing the 100 line. So here I am writing close the file, close the file, close the file, or release. I am going to show you that entire part in the database connection, in the files also. Close DB connection, close DB connection, close the file or close the DB connection as a part of line number 100 in finally block. Now start carefully. Line number 1 opened the file. Line number 2, 3, 4, fourth line exception is occurring. Jump out of fourth line. Appropriate except block is executing. Finally block, line number 100 is executed. Line number 100 is executed. Close the file. Release the DB connection. Tell me, suppose I have this 100 by 100, for example. 100 by 10. I have 100 by 10, for example. Here, like this. What will happen? 1 to 4 line, and 1 to 4th line, 5th line, 6th line, 7th line, 9th line, like that 99 lines are executed. After that, what block is executing? Else block will execute, plus finally block is also executing. Are you following that? And what is the safest place to close my file? Or what is the safest place to release my database connection? Finally block is the safest place. I hope that everybody understands this point. Finally block is the safest place to close my file. Finally block is the safest place to close my file. Let us go back to that and write the points. Tell me, what is that now? I am writing, it is the block in which we recommended to write the block of statements for I am writing recommended to write the block of statements. Dear students, recommended to write the block of statements which are used for which will see, I am writing a powerful word, relinquish means what? Relinquish means close, or what? Release oblique what? Terminate, or clean up the resources. Clean up the resources. This is a terminology you need to learn. Resources are nothing but what? Files oblique what? Databases. Very, very simple, databases. It is the block in which we are recommended to write the block of statements which will relinquish, that is close or release or terminate or clean up. These are the alternative terminologies for relinquish. The resources which are obtained in which block? Try block. Which are obtained in try block. Where are you obtaining the resources, ma? Try block. Where are you relinquish the resources, ma? finally block. I hope that I am clear for that. Right? Done. Now tell me, writing finally block is mandatory or optional? Writing finally block is mandatory or optional? Everybody, writing finally block is mandatory or optional? Optional. Whenever optional, writing finally block, writing the finally block is optional. Writing finally block is optional. You may have a question, sir, when do you write, when do you don't write? Simple Gadma. When you have resources with me, I will write finally block. When I don't have resources in my program, I don't write finally block. That's why writing finally block is optional. Is it understandable, ma, this point? Because why I am asking every point clear or not? Because I need to move forward. That's why I am getting confirmation from you. Yes. Now, finally block will execute compulsory. Is it executing compulsorily or not? Yes. Finally block will execute compulsorily. Finally block will execute compulsorily. Finally block will execute compulsorily. That too when, if we write it. I am writing if we write, it will execute compulsory. If we write, it will execute compulsory. Right. So this is the one which we need to write it. So the place of writing finally block, I am writing ma finally block to be written. Finally block to be written after else block. If we write else block, if we write else block, right? These are the points of which block? These are the points of which block, ma? Finally block. These are the finally block. Dear students, are you understanding, ma? Are you understanding, all of you? Finally block points clear. Very, very important. The compulsory interviewer is asking, why do you use finally block? This point, how much important it is, I cannot imagine. I can't imagine how much important this is. Right. So we are perfect. We are perfect with what blocks? We are perfect with what blocks? All the syntax is clear. Syntax is clear. Try block is clear. Except block is clear. Finally block is clear. Right. So done. Now I am going to enter into. Yes, ma, Satish. I said you know, finally block is meant for closing the resources. That is highly recommended to write the closing statements inside of finally block. It is most important. Right. So all the blocks are clear. Now, which I want to tell you today, some small examples, I want to talk about varieties of forms. Yeah. Yes, ma. Naveen, I will go to raise keyword, but then I want to talk about some extra knowledge I want to provide, ma. Some extra knowledge. So you thought that you are perfect, but I want to give you excellent perfect I want to provide. And nobody can stand in front of you when I talk to subject like that. Let me talk about various forms of except blocks. Various forms of except blocks. See, let me make you as a master in the subject. Now I am going for various forms of except block. Various forms of except blocks. And varieties of except blocks I want to say. So far you have seen only plain except block. That's nice. We have seen that we just come out of the situation. Except block is meant for what? Tell me. Except block is used for what purpose, ma? Forget, right? Exception handling. That's what I am saying that. I'm explaining, but you people are not remember my content. It is the block in which we read the block of statements. Provides user-friendly error messages. I don't want these answers. Who is this? Yashu. Why that symbols, ma? Who is this plus 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 plus? Yeshu. Who is this person? Plus 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 means what? Who is this? Right? So I told already in the class. I told already in the class. Be careful. Yesterday also you did like that only. Plus 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 plus. Total screen is your mistake only. So be careful. So right. So except block purpose is this message. So you need to don't give your own answers, ma. Don't give your own answers. You need to say what I explained. You need to say what I explained. You need to give that only. You don't give your own messages, please. It's my advice for you to get a perfection in the subject. Please read my notes like anything. Understand, buttify. Don't buttify blindly. Understand and buttify. If you give your own answers, I am not responsible. Dear students, very sorry to say this point. It is, I am saying to you, damn sure you'll get the job when you answer, when you say my words. It's an international terminology. I'm using it. Pakka English with a perfect and like a fruit level English. I'm giving it. Perfect sentences. Please coming to the various forms of except blocks. Now I am writing. Please enjoy the subject. We know that, dear students, we know that except block is used for suppressing. Once again I am writing suppressing means what? Making it down. Suppressing the technical error messages and error messages and generating what? User friendly error messages. Generating user friendly error messages. Error messages. This is what we did. We have seen practically about that points. Yes. Now we can write, we can have Asima, we can have various except blocks. We can have various except blocks. Let me go to one by one and I will show you. We can have various except blocks. They are like this. See, some of the people are asking, Seema, let us take our code once. What is our code? I will take a small example first. Very, very small example I will take. See, I will take, if you want, why to take a separate code? That program only which we did already in the class now. What is that program? DIV2 program is there now. See carefully. This code only I will take it. New Python program I will take it. Here you see. Yeah. This is a one I got it. Okay. So if you feel it is a bigger one, I will take. Okay. Anyhow, I will write here. If you feel it is a bigger one, I will write a smaller one because digestion is also important. Here I will take it. See, example 3.5. I am writing what? See carefully. S is equal to A is equal to 10, B is equal to 0. Okay. Now C is equal to A by B. Definitely this statement is generating the exception. Obviously, I will write it in where? Try I will write it. And I will keep this statements in the try and catch block. Try and except block I am writing. Except block. How do you write it? What I will write, ma? 0 division error. Division error. Yes. Then I am writing printer. What I am saying? Don't enter 0 for denominator. Yes. This is a message. Okay. Let me save this code, ma. Yes, example 3.5. Straightforward, coming to the command prompt. G colon. See, this is a very, very important class mark. CD. So KVR, Python, and this is called 4 PM. Now see, I am going to say exception handling, CD, exception handling. Yes, there I will take up pi and ex3.pi. So see that I got don't enter 0 for denominator. Okay, if you want the same thing in different way, I will show you. Suppose I don't write this except block at all. I will keep comment here. I will keep comment here. Then what is happening here? Now you see, I got of course. Now I need to take again. I need to get it like this. I get like this. See, I got it. See, what is that happening? Zero division error. It is the name of the exception. This is called its corresponding message. See, this line you observe, Mama. This line you observe it. This is known as what? Name of the exception. Plus it is a corresponding message which is coming because of this exception. Sometimes interviewer is asking, I want the name of the message. To be displayed, which is occurring as a part of our exception. Name of the exception is coming, no doubt in that. Plus, I want to know the name of the message also. For that, what we do is, as usual, we will write happily, these statements we will write as this. Here I will write try. Now I am writing, do you know what I am writing? Zero division error as alias name. I am giving alias name as caviar. It is nothing but whatever the exception is occurring, for this exception, corresponding exception, message is stored in this caviar, and that is, I will print caviar here. See the answer what is coming. See, division by 0. What is this now? Division by 0. Are you understanding, ma? What is another variety of except block? Name of the exception as caviar. This is nothing but an object of division error holding the message which is happening because of zero division error. Dear students, are you understanding this part? This is one variety of exception, one except block. What is that first variety? See that here I am coming to that is nothing but something like part 1. We have various except blocks. So something like flavor 1, flavor 1. So flavor 1, I am taking first flavor. One of the flavor I am taking. What is this is taking here? So try. We will write statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. N number of statements we will write it. What I will write it here? Except. What is this? Exception class name. Yes, as variable name. Print of what? Variable name. So this flavor will giving an alias name to our exception class name. So this flavor, this approach, I am writing this approach displays the message caused due to the exception. Are you understanding this? I am saying what this approach displays the message caused due to that exception occurrence. Actually, this is not necessary to tell. Why I am telling? Because interviewer is asking this word. Sir, what is an example, sir? Example you tell me, sir. Example is like this. See the example I am taking here. Very, very simple. Try block, and this is the happening, and then except block, and I am printing this type of message. What is an output will be coming? What is an output is coming? The output is coming 0 division error. 0 division error is a message which is coming here. This is a message. This is a message actually occurring due to what? 0 division error. I hope that you people are following. Yes. So this KVR is nothing but your own variable name. Your own variable name is holding the message name which is happening because of this exception. Here KVR is a variable name. KVR is a variable name. Variable name holds the message. Holds the message. MSG holds the message. Holds the message which is occurred due to 0 division exception. Which is occurred due to 0 message. Which is occurred. I will write it. Which is generated due to what exception? 0 division error. Yes, I hope that it is clear. Is this variety of flavor is clear or not? Is this one variety of flavor is clear or not? All of you please confirm. All of you please confirm. Yes. Second variety I am going to talk about it. Second variety I am going to talk about it. So what is the second variety I am going to talk? Just to look at that. So coming to the point of it, coming to the point back, one more kind of thing I am going to give you. One more point I want to give you. See, this is also one of the most wonderful point. Here you come on. So see, how many exceptions are occurring here, ma? How many exceptions are occurring? 2 exceptions are occurring. What is that? Don't enter STRs, don't enter this kind of things and all those things. Yes or no? Yes. Now, some of the people are asking, sir, here we are accepting first exception, here we are accepting second exception. Is there any concept in Python to handle all at once? Is there any concept happening? Is there any concept happening to handle all the exceptions? So the answer says yes, sir. But are you understanding? Except block, one message. Another except block, one more message. Somebody is expecting, sir, I want to handle a single except block. See how I am going to do it. I will take the same program, dear students. See how beautiful a point this is. Division 3.5. What I am doing is, except of, in the bracket I will write value error, comma, 0 division error. See, beautiful point. 0 division error, comma, 0 division error, close. And whatever the except is there, don't write it, separate except block. So I am reducing some little bit code. But what is the problem here? A problem is no problem at all. What is happening? What are all the exceptions are occurring? I am handling all at once. Suppose because of this 4 and 5 value error is coming, value error is happening, matching. It will print both the messages will print. Both the statements will print. That means it is one advantage. Actually, strictly speaking, it is an advantage. What is an advantage? \n. I want to give some space. That means one mistake if you do, it is showing other mistakes also. And so you are getting an advantage. One is what? In advance, you are getting both the messages will be displayed for you. Both the messages will be displayed. So, for example, if one, suppose if one of our person is fail in BTech first year, you are saying, be careful second year, third year, fourth year, entire year you be careful. So you are saying that. So let us wait. Let us see the code. I am going to save it. See that div3.py. Now I am going to run this. Py div3.py. See that asking 10 and 2, no problem. I got the result, no problem. So that 10 and 0, you see that you are getting both the messages. Don't enter STRs, don't enter 0 for denominator. So one of the exception is matching or not? Which exception is matching? Which exception is matching here? 0 division error. 0 division error. Now enter once again 10 and then say something like HYD. See that. Don't enter STRs. Don't enter alphanumerical values. Are you following this? This is called multi-except handling block. Multi-exception handling block. What is that block name called? One except block handle almost all the exceptions and giving the specific messages for us. It's a really, if you feel it is, if you require it, you use it. Are you following me, ma? Yes. So that is called a second variety. Second variety. So I'm writing flavor 2. I'm writing flavor 2. What is the flavor 2? You see that flavor number 2. Yes. Easy for you. Flavor number 2. This approach displays. This approach makes us to understand. I'm writing makes us to understand single except block handles multiple specific exceptions handled multiple specific exceptions and generates and displays multiple specific messages at a time. This is the beautiful concept. Are you getting my point? Try. Syntax I am writing, ma. This is called a syntax. Syntax I will write. Syntax this is. If I don't tell this syntax, you will get tomorrow in the companies. You will get this tomorrow in the project point of it. That time you should not get trouble. Syntax number 2, flavor number 2. What is that? Except, what is that? In the bracket, except class name 1, comma, what is that? Comma, except class name 2, so on, except class name n, and say what? Messages. So I'm writing here block of statements provides user friendly error messages. User friendly error messages. I hope that this is clear. Else block will be continued. Finally block will be continued. Everything. Dear students, is the syntax is clear? Exception class name, this is exception class name. Except class name now. Except is a block, which I already told you. So I said exception class name 1, exception class name 2, exception class name n. Dear students, shall I move forward? This is called flavor number 2. Flavor number 2. What is the corresponding example? Already we have the corresponding example here. See that this is a corresponding example. Right. So this part is called, this is called one of the example here. So this one, what happens, ma? Yes. So done. This is here it is run done, ma. Here it is done. Are you okay? I will upload, ma. I will upload. Every day we are uploading that. No need to write. I will upload this entire part. Daily I will upload the things. So this is called one example part. If you want, I can. This is called an example. Automatically this program is there. I need not to take this as a part of it. So if since I wrote one example, you want this part, I will put it in the part of example. So example, if you want, I will write. So here, multi-catch exception handling block. So here, value, multiple exceptions are done. Yes, fine. Okay now, shall I go to next? Shall I move to forward? Confirmation, I need confirmation. Everybody need confirmation. Without confirmation, I cannot move forward. Got it. Next confirmation, I want to go for it. Next confirmation is, some of the people who writes like this, they will say like this. You tell me whether it is advisable or not, you need to tell. Whether it is advisable or not, you need to tell. Yes, same thing. I will go for like this. Seema. I will go for others. Now I am writing. Except block. Here I am pasting that. Try block. div4 I am taking. div4. Some of the people will write like this. Except they don't write anything. They don't write anything. They will not write anything. They will write like this. What is that? Exception occurred. Exception occurred, they will say. Exception occurred, they will say. See that? S1 and S2, AB, everything. So they did not write any, except only they wrote. Except only they need to write. They wrote. And then they wrote, nothing is written. So only simple message is done. This is nothing but Jinda Talismat. Jinda Talismat means I am just joking here. This except block, line number 9, will handle all types of exceptions. This except block will handle all types of exceptions. So user gets confused. So you need to give which message? User friendly error message you need to give it. But this is not the appropriate way. But here I wrote except. Except why I wrote? To handle any type of unknown exceptions. To catch any unknown exception. Please run this code once. Please run this code. Save this. So run this div4. See the varieties of it. Now see pi div4.py. Enter the value 10 and 0. So I got exception occurred. What exception occurred? I don't understand. I want the name of the message. Actually, division by 0. You say you run your program div2.py. You see 10 and 0. I got don't enter 0 for denominator. Because div1 you already understood. div2 you already understood. Value error, division error. Once except is written, you need to specify the name of the exception, guys. Once you don't specify the name of the exception, it's a problem for us. So, but there is a variety. This is one of the variety. Exception occurred. One more time you run it. One more time div4 you run it. I am saying 10 and I am saying KVR here. So you got exception occurred. For everything exception is occurred. So one except block is handling all unknown exceptions. Is it recommended or not recommended? So is it recommended or not? It's not advisable. Excellent. It is not advisable. But we can, if you want, you can write it. Is also one thing. So to handle any type of unknown exception, instead of giving what message? Instead of giving which exception, which message? Any type of unknown message you want, instead of giving technical error message. So I need to go for it. This is another variety of except block. That is nothing but flavor number 3 I am taking. So see that flavor number 3. What is the flavor number 3? It is like this. This approach makes us to understand with a single except block, we can display, we can display generic message. Generic message means which is a one message for all of them. Generic message for all by handling all exceptions, all types of exceptions. All types of exceptions. Are you following, ma? Are you following? Yes. What is the syntax, sir? Syntax is I will write this type of thing. What is that now? See carefully. Here I am writing syntax. I am writing syntax. I am saying. What is the syntax? You see carefully. Now there I am writing. Except try. I am saying that try. Say except block. Here I never write anything. I will write except colon. What is that? Block of statements provides a generic message. Generic messages. I hope that you are catching my points. So this is one variety of statement you have written. So in place of this, what I can do, this small example I can carry here. Small example I can carry. This example says, what is that? See that. Here I am saying example. What is an example here, ma? I am saying that here you see try. So I am writing. So 0 division error. Here I will say just nothing I am writing. So generic except block, this is generic except block. So I am writing exception occurred. That's it. Which exception occurred? You are not saying. Exception occurred. Are you following, ma? All of you? Yes. Generic message. So example is done. So I hope that you understood these are the varieties of except blocks. How many except blocks are there? Except with exception, except with exception as alias name, except with multiple exceptions, except without any exception name. First one, except with the exception name. Second, except with multiple exceptions. Next, except with without block. Except with object name alias object name. So first standard one. After that, 3 flavors I said. Totally how many are there? 4 are there. Totally 4 are there. First one, once again, except with exception name. Second one, except with exception name as alias name. Third one, except with multiple exceptions. Except without exception name. These are the varieties. Okay, na? Fine. Now, dear students, I want to go for one further raise keyword I want to introduce now. Raise keyword I want to start. Very easy. Very easy I want to go for it. Raise keyword I want to explain in the class. So how easy the raise keyword we cannot imagine it. Shall we start? Shall we start the raise keyword? Yes. How many types of exceptions you have? How many types of exceptions are there, ma? How many types of exceptions are there? 4. What, ma? Are you there in the class or not? Sorry, if you are there, because of that answers, you are making me to fear. So, 4 p.m. exception handling, you are making me to fear like anything sometimes. This is what little inconvenient for me. Right. Types of exceptions. See that. Types of exceptions in Python. Exception names. How many exception names? Infinite. So many types of exceptions. Predefined exceptions, programmer-defined exceptions. Predefined exceptions, programmer-defined exceptions. Predefined exceptions already explained in the class. Programmer-defined exceptions now, or custom-defined exceptions. user defined exceptions, programmer defined exceptions. Now, coming to that, so programmer defined exceptions. Now I'm talking about the development of programmer defined exceptions. This I want to carry forward. This I want to carry forward. This is a most beautiful concept I'm going to use. Let us look at that. Now I'm going to enter into the new discussion. What is that? See that word. Development of, this is a point I'm going to, in this context, we are going to get the rise keyword. Dear students, see, development of programmer defined exceptions. Development of programmer defined exceptions. Very excellent concept this is. So already we understood development of programmer defined exceptions. What is that now? Already we discussed in the class. These exceptions developed by programmer, Python programmer. These exceptions developed by Python programmer and available as a part of Python project and always deals with the common problems. Sir, what is the common problem? Some of the common problems are attempting to enter invalid pin. Invalid pin is nothing but what? Wrong pin. Wrong pin is nothing but what? Exception. Exception need to generate what? Exception need to create what? Tell me all of you. Exception need to create what? Exception need to create what? Object. Object need what, ma? Object need what? Come on. Object need exception class. Object need exception class. Exception class. That exception class you are developing. That exception class you need to develop it. That type of exception is known as what? Which exception that is known as? That exception is known as which exception? Programmer defined exceptions we can call. Programmer defined exception. Any type of invalid input is coming. Develop your own exceptions. That we are going to discuss in the class. Okay. Now, what are the steps for development of? I'm writing next. Steps for developing. What exceptions? Programmer defined exceptions. Steps for developing programmer defined exceptions. Sir, what are those steps? Very, very simple, ma. Right. Yes. Look at that. Come on, ma. Let us move to forward. Enter into the, how many steps are there? Before going to that, I'm going to discuss in this class. Now before going to discuss this, I want to write one small diagram. I want to write it. See carefully. Already we discussed some type of list of exceptions in the class. Some list of exceptions I just mentioned it in the class. I mentioned it already in the class. So can you tell me what are the type of exceptions we mentioned it? We mentioned it already in the class. So there I said to you like this. First one, I'm going to tell you this. So let us follow me carefully. What is the first one? We have so lot of exceptions are there. One is called what? Type error. What is type error? All of you please tell me. What is the type error? What is the type error, ma? Depends on your answer only, you can understand. Zero division error. What is zero division error? What is that zero division error? Next I am going to say value error. Next is called what? Key error. What are all these things? Ayyo. What are all these things? Class names they are called. My dear students, I told already in my place where if you don't, why should I upload in the Google Drive class then? Is it only for fashion? Huh? So see that where I already done this type of thing, types of errors. See, I will open it where I mentioned it already. If you don't tell that things carefully, it's a problem. Why to waste unnecessarily time for uploading exceptions? When the exception, see, when the exception occurs in the Python program, Python creates an object of appropriate exception class. Appropriate exception class. One more point. To do A, B, C steps, PVM creates an object of an exception class. In every moment of it, I explained it. It is your problem. Our notes is like an Indian constitution because everything is there in our notes. Syntax you see, handling the exception syntax you see, syntax you see. Here what is written? Here what is written? Exception class name, except exception class name. Can't you tell that? It is called exception class name? Now, what is this? Now tell me, what is a type error, zero division error, value error, key error? All of them are what? Exception class names. Next, like that you tell me. Next, like that you tell me. Name error, name error, name error. Like that we are writing what? Attribute error, attribute error, attribute error. Next is called what? Syntax error, syntax error. Next is called what? Next is called what? What I told you. Indentation error, indentation error. See that. Next is called what? File not found error, file not found error, file not found error. Now I am writing what? Now I am writing what? IO error, IO error. I am writing most of them. IO error, file exist error, file exist error. Next I am writing what? Next I am writing what? Database error, database error. Right? This is called like this. I am just going on writing all these things. What are all these things? Exceptions. These are all called exception class names, dear students. These are all called what? Exception class names. I am writing here. These are all called what? Exception class names. These are all called exception class names. So I am saying that exception class names, these are called. All these class names are for what? All these exception class names are for what? Whenever there is some wrong input is occurring, we are using this class. Where I used it? Like our programming, I used it, except value error, zero division error, so far. Like that I can use many of them. Then if we come to this point here, all these classes are, I'm using one example about the classes. We are entering very shortly into the OOPS features. OOPS features. Now, all these classes will have one head. These classes will have one head. One head is there for them. One head is there for them. One head is there. That is called super class. Like our parents will be the super class for us. Like our office head is called super class for all employees. Like that, in the Python, we are going to have one variety of classes there. That class is called super class for all the exceptions in Python. That is known as what? Exception. Exception, dear students. Exception. What is exception? It is a super class for all the exceptions in Python language. It is a exception, spelling mistake, EXCEP, exception is a name of the predefined class. Is a name of the predefined class. This is the super class. This is the, I'm writing here, it is the super class. It is the super class. Super class for all. Super class is nothing but base class. In the inheritance, I am going to introduce anyhow this point. Base. Right? But it is too early to talk about the inheritance. But you need to remember this terminology. Because at one point of time, I had to introduce this topic. It is a super oblique base class. It is a super oblique base class for all exceptions in Python. For all exceptions in Python. It is a super or base class for all exceptions in Python. So, exception is a super class or base class for all exceptions in Python. Sir, how the type error was developed, sir? How zero division error is developed, sir? How value error? All these classes are subclasses of exception. Something like that. When you develop tomorrow your own exception class, your exception class is also subclass of what? Tell me now. You catch my point. Also subclass of what? Superclass. That is superclass is what? Exception. Capital E. If you write small e, you write imposition. Write imposition. What is that? All your, see, these are all called predefined exceptions. These are all predefined exceptions. Predefined exceptions. These are the subclasses of exception. Simple, type. So you tell me, just try to think in a small, simple way. Class. Which keyword I am using to develop? Which keyword I am using to develop a class? Class. About the classes I am going to explain very careful, very perfect, very shortly. We are entering into the Whoops features. Class name. Class name. We need to take up what? Class name. Class name. We are writing the class name. In the bracket, you need to write the base class name. What is that base class name? Exception. It is a syntax of development of our own exception. Colon, I will write pass. I don't write anything inside. Just I will write only class name exception. I don't write any body. I will write body later. Now I don't write the body. Just pass, I say. It is only the it is only the step for development of your exceptions. Tell me how type error is developed. How type error is developed? Class type error. It is a class name of what? Exception, colon, pass. Finished. Pass. What is the superclass here? What is the superclass here? In this example, what is the superclass? Exception. What is the subclass? What is the subclass? Type error. That means all the features of exception class are inherited into type error. In the inheritance, anyhow, I am going to explain. Like that, I want to develop class zero division error. Zero division error. Zero division error. Zero division error. Of what? Exception. Of exception. Colon pass. I am not writing any body, just pass. Class name is done. Next, how easy it is. Class value error. Class value error. Of what? Exception. Of exception. Of colon what? Pass. How easy it is. What is value error? What is value error, ma? What is value error? Subclass. What is exception? What is exception? Superclass it is. It is a superclass. It is the superclass. Very perfect. Now, I want to develop my own exception. How do you develop my own exception? I want to develop my own exception. Come on. Class. Zero division error you said. Now we are taking, what is that? Zero error. I want to develop my own exception. Zero error. Zero error. It is also looking like my class only. Or I want to take what? KVR zero error. KVR zero error. KVR zero error. Like zero division error. Like that. KVR zero error. What is that? I want to develop my class as an exception class. I will do what? Exception. Say pass. Finished. Finished. Whatever the way the people are developing predefined, in the same way I will develop it. hence KVR here, hence KVR, slowly I am introducing KVR 0 error is called what class? Is called which class? Is called which class, ma? Programmer defined exception. Programmer defined exception. Programmer defined exception. KVR 0 error is an exception today. KVR 0 error is called one of the programmer defined exception. What are the steps? What is the first step? What is the first step we did? How easy? Number one, take the class name. Take the class name. Second step is what? Write the superclass name. And third step is save the program. Third step is save the program. Finished. Let me go for the program now. Let me go to the program now. Yes. Come on now. Go to the program. Now I am writing text Python. Now I am saying, see, class KVR 0 division. KVR 0 error. Just that's it. KVR 0 error. What is this now? Exception. That's it. I'm going to give you beautiful explanation, beautiful case study. I will explain, ma. Beautiful case study. I will explain. What is Durga Prasad? Hello, sir. What is our problem? What is your problem, Durga Prasad? Sir, every subclass is a programmer defined exception. That is wrong answer actually. Every subclass of exception class. Every subclass of exception class is called programmer defined exception. Durga Prasad. That is a sentence you need to write. Are you okay, Durga Prasad? Every subclass of what? Exception class. Every subclass of exception class is called programmer defined exception class. See, every subclass here, every subclass of exception class is called programmer defined exception class. Pass. Now I will save this code. Now I will save this code. What is that? Some name you give it. hyd.py. hyd.py. Treated as module. Just to remember. What is the steps I followed? Step number 1. Step number 2. What is the step number 2? Exception. Step number 3 is a file name. Save it on some file name. 3. Over. So come on to the point back. And here, steps for development of exceptions. Number 1, choose the programmer defined class name. Choose the programmer defined class name. Yes. What is my class name I am choosing here? KVR 0 division error class. I took it. I choose it. I am choosing that. Okay. Second step is what? The programmer defined class. The programmer defined class. I am writing. The programmer defined class name must inherit the properties from exception class, and hence the programmer defined class is called programmer defined programmer defined exception class. Is called programmer defined exception class. Programmer defined exception class. Right. Third, perfect. Save the program on some file name with an extension .py. Finished. What is an example, sir? Example already you did here. Yes, that example. I will take up example here. So what is that example? Like this. Done. how easy it is. Actually, Java, if you take, it's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult to develop our own exception. Python is really great. And you take any student and ask how to develop your own exception. Just shivering like anything. What is a try block, you ask? What is the syntax, you ask? People will be out of order. Come on to the point. Is it understandable or not? First of all, you confirm. Are you okay with this? If you say confirm, then I will move forward. I will use raise keyword now. I will introduce raise keyword now. I want full confirmations. Now, confirm in the sense you need to say, sir, understood, move forward. Like that, I want confirmation. Without that, sir, move forward means I cannot. Sir, understood, move forward. Like that, I want the answer. Like that, I want the answer. Yes, understood. So now, sir, I am moving forward. Yeah, with your confirmation, I am moving forward. So when people are just a 520 like that, they are slowly going out of the tea, cup of coffee, like that they want to enjoy. But we will enjoy this kind of thing. Yes. Fine. So let us move. So Amjad, don't worry, ma. So we are going to deal with big case study. I am going to explain. Big case study I will explain, ma. Don't worry. A very big case study I will explain to you. Next class. Next class is my ATM application code. I will write it and I will show you. Okay. Today, just one small trial I am going to show you. Shall I move forward? Class name and then that. I am not writing any body inside. I will write just pass. Yes. Ready. Next I am going for next moment. So I will save it, ma. I will save it. hyd.py. I will save it. hyd.py. Exceptions. hyd.py. Let's move forward. One more variety. Others. Now I am going to Python program. Here I am going to write one more kind of class. See, I am writing the program. Def. See, def. Division is one code I am writing. Here I am writing, dear students, division. A is equal to int of input of, carefully understand, enter value of A. Enter value of A. Tell me. Enter value of B. B is equal to int of input of, enter value of B. Enter value of B. Value of B. It's a next stage I am reaching, ma. You need to understand. C is equal to A by B I am saying. C is equal to A by B I am saying. So if B is 0, automatically what is occurring? If B is 0, what is occurring? Tell me. If B is 0, what is occurring? You tell me. Everybody should understand. If B is 0, what will happen? Automatically 0 division error is rising. That is a predefined one, it is raising. Instead of predefined one today, I want to raise my own exception. When I want to raise my own exception. How I will check the condition? How I will check the condition? If, see how beautiful logic it is. If B double equal to 0, then what should I do? B double equal to 0 means what? Denominator is 0. Valid input or invalid input? Valid input or invalid input? Invalid input. I should say, invalid input means what is occurring? Invalid input means what is occurring, ma? Exception is occurring. Exception occurring means what to create? Ayyo, first answer my question. 0 division error. What is the 0 division error? What to create? Object. Object I need to create. To create an object, what is required? Class. Class is required. Exception class is required. That is called what? I should say. If a denominator is 0, I should say raise. I need to take. If B is 0, you raise an exception. you raise an exception. Zero division error is internally raising. Today I am raising my own exception. What is my exception here? KVR zero error. I am raising. If denominator is zero, raise KVR zero error. KVR zero error is from which module? From HYD module. Import. What is it? KVR zero error. From HYD module, import KVR zero division error. It's a class name. It is a class name. If denominator is zero, raise the exception. If denominator is not zero, what do you say? Else. If denominator is not zero, say else. What should I do there? What should I say there? C is equal to A by B. A by B. Print here. Division is equal to dot format of C you say. Finished. Are you following me? Are you okay? Simple. Nothing else is difficult. I'm going to call it as one mathematical OP.py. Math OP.py. Here we call it as hitting an exception. Here I am writing hitting oblique raising an exception by using which keyword? Raise keyword. So I am writing raise keyword. Are you following? Raise is a keyword used for raising an exception when certain condition is satisfied. Raising an exception is nothing but what? Hitting the exception. So before raising an exception, that exception must be developed. This phase, this program is called a development of exception. This is called a development of exception. Yes, I developed it. In this phase, I did what? I'm hitting the exception. I am raising the exception which was already developed, which I am importing. Save this code. Math OP is a class name, treated as a module name. If I explain tomorrow's case study, you will really wonder. Treated as a module name. Yes, save it. Yes, save it, method op.py. Yes, please. Coming to the point back, say py method math op.py. See that now it is not going to done anything because we are not calling it. Now I will go to the main program. See, I am going to use others main program I am using. What is that? Division demo, div demo.py. div-demo.py is my program name. Tell me, I want to call which function? Division function I want to call. Here I am calling division function. Will it execute? Save. div-demo.py. Will it execute? No, sir. It won't execute, sir. Why? You see, error will come. Division is an error. Division is not defined. So do what? Import. Come on. From math op, import what? Division. Excellent. Division. Now it is asking. Division is a normal function. Is a function, but inside of the division, what is raising, ma? What is raising? I want the answer. Exception is raising. When an exception is raising means it is coming to your place or not? What you do now? Handle that exception. Once exception is raising, what you do? What you will do? Once ball is raising, what you will do? Once a cricket ball is hit by somebody, what you will do? You will catch that ball. Here also, the division method is hitting the exception. What you will do? Handle that exception. Handling is nothing but what? Handling is nothing but what? See, beautiful formula. See, I'm writing how much beautiful forecasting knowledge I'm using. Handling the exception is equal to what? Try block plus what? Try block plus what block? Now I will write. Come on. Try I am writing. Try I am writing. What do you do? Except. What should I write in except? What should I write in except? So already forget. KVR 0 error. KVR 0 error. I need to write KVR 0 error. KVR 0 error. Now print. 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 Don't enter. I'm writing capital letter. Don't enter 0 for denominator. Don't enter 0 for denominator. How easy it is. Message box. See, I wrote inside of try and catch. But KVR 0 division error is belongs to which module? Which module? From where? From which module ma? HYD import what? KVR 0 error. From HYD import KVR 0 error. Because I am using this class name now. Are you following? Here I am handling the exception. See, handling the exception. Oh, beautiful points, ma. Developing the exception. In HYD place, what I did? I developed the exception. In Math OP, what I did? I am hitting the exception. In DAV demo program, what I am doing? I am handling the exception. So, Shiva, once you import in this place, it doesn't mean that it is useful here. No, you have to import again. In BTech first year, we have written the examination. Is the same examination is useful in the second year, third year, fourth year also? No, sir. We have to import again, sir. Right? Are you following me? How many phases are there in development of that? Development of an exception, hitting the exception, handling the exception. Development of the exception, hitting the exception, handling the exception. Handling the exception. Easy or difficult? Is it easy or difficult? Yeah. Akila Reddy is sleeping and she is switch on the video and then sleeping. Akila Reddy. So switch on the videos. So sleeping. So not so when you sleep like that, please switch off your video and sleep. When you sleep now, we are also getting the same sleep. Problem will come on to the point. Yes. Are you understanding this? Shall I run this program now? Save this code. Please, mod, you listen the class, please. Yes. Come on to the point of execution. Because it is coming in middle of my screen. So when you are sleeping, I need to see. I am also getting sleep that time. So please don't disturb the class. So coming to the point of it. So I'm coming to that. Why? What is my program name? DIV demo. See how the beautiful code is coming. DIV demo. See, coming to this. How the flow is. Enter into that. Division. Control goes to where? Division. Of which one? Math OP. Going to Math OP. Asking. Enter the value of A, B. That's why message is coming. Value of A and value of B is called what? 2. Yes, ma. No problem. So, see, ma. Coming to the point. 2. So, I got the answer. 5.0. There only the answer is printing. One more time you run it. So, say that what? 10 and then what? 0. What is happening? 10 and 0 you got it. B 0 double equal to 0. raise the exception, raising an exception, going to where? So going to this main program. So this is matching. That exception is hitting, sending here. Is it matching or not? Is it matching or not? Come on, guys. Where are you? Matching. What the message is printing? I am from. I don't enter 0 for denominator. Don't enter 0 for denominator. See that? Don't enter 0 for denominator. Beautiful. Beautiful. Are you understanding? Yes. Next, this is a way you need to write like this. Finally, block not necessary, else block not necessary, nothing is there. So I hope that today we understood about what is the concept here we understood. What is the concept we understood? Raise keyword we understood. Plus we already understood how to develop these exceptions. Already we understood this type of part. Development of programmer defined exception. Steps also we understand. And then raise keyword also you understood. Raise keyword also you understood. Now I am writing separately, raise keyword I am writing. Raise keyword I am writing. What is the raise keyword? Raise keyword. Raise keyword. So what is the purpose of raise keyword here? I am writing. Raise keyword I am writing. Raise keyword is used for hitting or raising or generating the exception which is occurred as a part of Python program, when certain condition is satisfied. When certain condition is satisfied. When certain condition is satisfied. Yes. Sir, what is the syntax? Syntax I am going to tell. Syntax here I am going to tell you. What are the syntax, mom? What are the syntax? Generally, we will write in some type of methods. So, syntax I am writing raise. What is that? Exception class name. That's it. Class name. One more. This is syntax 1. One more syntax if you want, I can write. Syntax number 2. What is the syntax number 2? Def method function name. You know already, list of formal parameters. If any. Tomorrow's class, a beautiful case study I am going to explain. If some statements may be there, here, some varieties of statements are there here. After that, if I am writing here test condition, I am writing some test condition. What is the test condition? Here I am saying raise, what is that? Exception class name. So another type of statements may be there. This is a way how I am using the raise statement. So are you understanding this raise keyword? Is the 5 keywords, are you perfect? Are you perfect in all the 5 keywords, ma'am? Not perfect, perfect or not perfect? Perfect, sir. So you need to remember all these keywords. So that related kind of example I will upload even immediately after the class. Even I will save this save code into our place. So I will take up this. Here I will save this raise keyword in the program. And this part also, development of programmer defined exceptions also, I will save it in the today's class. So development of predefined exceptions, development of programmer defined exceptions. Also I will save it into this place. Okay. Yes. Fine. So this is called one type of exception handling hierarchy chart. This is called. This is called, I will write here, exception handling hierarchy chart. Exception handling hierarchy chart. Hierarchy chart. This also I will upload. This also I will upload in the class. So I hope that you people are understanding this entire discussion. Understanding this entire discussion. Is it clear? Fine. So we did this example. See three things. One is HYD exception development. One more is called exception raising. And next is called what? Exception handling. These are the things. So if I come to tomorrow's class, I will go for a detailed code I am going to explain. A code I am going to explain in the class. A case study I am going to explain. Tomorrow class is there. As usual, tomorrow class is there. I did not get any holiday message or something. We will have the class. Tomorrow class is there as usual. Okay, right. So this is related to today's concept. I hope that you people are understanding. Dear students, are you comfortable with today's class? Raise keyword is clear. Yes. So I will upload this tomorrow's class. With that, once this coding is completely done, case study. After the case study, everything will be more clear. Tomorrow I am telling na. Tomorrow it will be a clean and green for everybody. Yes. Yeah, I am uploading. I am uploading.